When the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan visited Iraq in April, one of his biggest goals was to advance talks on the new Silk Road. The multi-billion-dollar project seeks to once again place Turkey as the focal point between Europe and Asia with the help of its southern neighbour. Priyanka Navani reports from the Turkish-Iraqi border.
This road already serves important purposes. It links Turkey with Iraq, an important trade route. But it could soon be the most important trade route in the world.
We cannot spend much time with our families or children. Thanks to this new road, we will be able to have more time to ourselves.
We will breathe a sigh of relief thanks to this new road, which will provide job opportunities to many people.
The Turkish-Iraqi Development Road project aims to connect southern Iraq's Basra to the Turkish port city of Mersin by road and rail, spanning 1,200 kilometers and at a price tag of $17 billion. Officials say that's an investment they're willing to pay.
Wherever the road passes through, that region will rejoice, develop, and rise. This project has been on the agenda for many years. We're very happy it'll finally be realized. Hopefully, it'll also spur a rise in tourism.
Importantly, this project hopes to go far beyond bilateral benefits and eventually serve as a link between Europe and Asia. Now, Turkey isn't new to playing middleman, neither in trade nor in politics. But by enlisting Iraq to form this critical channel together, Ankara is investing both in a new world order and its own security. The Arab Gulf has shown particular interest in the project, in part because it would increase transport links, allowing for a greater flow of exports like oil. Of late, routes are limited.
The northern corridor from Ukraine and Russia is not secure because of that war, and the southern corridor in Iran is made insecure by the wars in Iraq and Syria. And now, routes are being jeopardized by the war on Gaza. So the world needs another corridor, and the agenda of this project has accelerated.
This area is no stranger to terrorism or subsequent military campaigns either. But analysts say Ankara may no longer be alone in its fight.
There are Daesh and PKK terrorists in Iraq. They are a serious problem. If the road attracts serious international attention, Turkey will surely receive great support from other countries in order to help Turkey in its fight against terrorism.
Officials hope the project will be completed by 2025. A timeline that everyone from international tradesmen to local truckers hope will stick. Priyanka Navani, TRT World, on the Turkish-Iraqi border.
Let's get more on this from Ankara and bring in Omer Ozkizilcik. He is a non-resident fellow at the Atlantic Council's Middle East Programmes. Omer, thank you very much indeed for your time. Well, huge geopolitical impact this project will have clearly for infrastructure and development in the region, but how important will regional security be to the project?
When it comes to regional security, we have to think about two different aspects. The first is, now that everyone has seen the Suez Canal as the main road is not enough. We have seen that after the Houthi attacks, the Suez Canal is no longer a much viable option anymore, and the ships have to go all around the African continent. And now this development road initiative, if it's implemented, will provide a huge alternative for potential security issues in the Red Sea. Secondly, in terms of security inside Iraq, with this development road initiative, the economy would thrive in Iraq, the post-war situation in Iraq would improve. And not only that, also the terrorist organizations, ISIS and the PKK, who are present in Iraq, they will become a common threat before Turkey, Iraq, and the KRG in the north. And all of these three actors together, as well as the international community, would have a genuine interest in combating and diminishing this terrorist threat. And the level of coordination has already increased. So it's a win-win for all, except for people who want to disturb security in the region.
Omer, that's fascinating stuff. Just stand by for a moment. We'll come back to you. We're just going to bring some more details into this discussion. The project, we're aiming to create an alternative trade route we mentioned, both regionally and globally, but will also lead to economic integration. So here's some more details on that. It's a project, this development road, to connect Iraq to Turkey with railways, roads, ports and cities, expected to cost $17 billion. 1,200 kilometres of railways and highways will connect Basra's Grand Port and Turkey's Mersin port. The road will be an alternative to the Suez Canal, facilitating faster and more efficient trade. Now, the first phase of the project, scheduled for completion in 2028, it is expected to generate $4 billion annually and create at least 100,000 jobs. So those are some of the numbers, Omer, but when it comes to the potential impact, the economic impact of the project, how significant could it be?
So when it comes to economical impact, I think the most important aspect here is for Iraq and for the international trade routes. Firstly, Iraq is highly dependent on its oil sales and oil revenues. But with this initiative, Iraq will gain a major income source and a major facilitator for the economic growth of Iraq. And jobs being created is what Iraq needs very, very much, especially in a post-war Iraqi situation. And internationally, we have to admit clearly here, the Belt Road Initiative of China, the India initiative, and the Suez Canal, all of these we in the coming next decades will have more trade from east to the west. And we need more alternatives, because if there's not enough suitable, sustainable alternatives, then any potential crisis, any potential decrease in security could harm economic trade, and economic trade harming in the next future when the world population will be much more than it's already now. So all of this together, this is just a huge undertaking for the international trade, and for Iraq especially, and also for Turkey, who will accelerate its key geopolitical and geostrategic role, with also being a key transit route for the Development Road Initiative, in addition to the key role of Turkey in the Belt and Road Initiative. So we see that Turkey, with these projects, is more and more underlining its geopolitical role, because there's one clear reality. If you want to go from the east to the west, you either have to cross to Russia or to Turkey. And we see that Turkey is more and more coming to the front line.
Omer, great to get your analysis. Appreciate your input on that one. Omer Ozkizilcik there joining us from the Atlantic Council.